Hi, I'm Joan Foster and I'm lead of the Manhood Peninsula Action Group, and talking here again to Pieter Montayn, who is the West Sussex County Councillor, one of them on the Manhood. And last time we talked about the local plan and the effect that would have to happen to the A27 to mitigate the traffic that would be caused by the new housing that we need to build, or we are told we need to build. But turns out that the proposals that they've put in bear an uncanny resemblance to the past option 3 in the A27 consultations. In fact, it's a little worse because the Bognor roundabout now becomes a hamburger roundabout. So I'm talking to Peter today, and what we want to look at are the implications of the 4 junctions on the A27. They're all going to have traffic lights. Can you just imagine the queues? So Peter, can we start by looking at what would happen if I was driving to Chichester on the A27 from the east?
Hello, everybody, and hello, Joan. Of course, yes. Could I just very briefly say that this is all as a result of the District Council's local plan, but the County Council is involved in highways aspects, and hence the interest that I'm taking. Yes, driving from the east towards Chichester and wanting to enter Chichester has quite severe implications, because one of the, or two of the roundabouts, the Wick roundabout and the Stockbridge roundabout, will become crossroads where you're not allowed to turn right when you're heading west. So you will not be able to enter Chichester there, which means that if you want to go into Chichester, you will have to either leave at the Portfield roundabout or at the Bognor roundabout, but probably easier at the Portfield roundabout. So even if you want to go, say, to the railway station, you have to cross pretty much across the city, Orchard Street and the North Gyratory, and so the effects are really quite profound on the traffic in the city.
So you can turn right at the Bognor roundabout through one of these hamburgers, which has traffic lights all the way around it. Is that right? Can you describe?
It does, and what is sort of worth noting and almost slightly bizarre is that the reason for having these 2 crossroads with no right turns is to ease the traffic on the A27, so it doesn't have to stop there for right turning traffic. However, people have got to turn right somewhere, so that's why there's a hamburger at Fishbourne and also at Bognor, which you just mentioned, Joan. So traffic will still have to be halted to allow people to turn right, in this case, coming from the east to get into the city.
Okay, so let me just get this quite clear, because I'm sure if I've got it clear in my head. I'm coming along from Portfield, the Sainsbury's roundabout on the A27, and I want to turn right into Chichester. When I go across the Oving traffic lights, if they're still there, then I get to the Bognor roundabout. Now, can I go straight through? Can I turn right? Do I get stopped by lights? What will happen?
You would go straight through if you wanted to stay on the A27, if you were, say, you were just wanting to pass Chichester without entering the city. Yep. But if you want to enter the city, you would have to turn right. And so the traffic will periodically have to be halted to allow traffic to go around the roundabout, including turning to the right, which means that through traffic would have to stop. And of course, the little bit of the A27 in the middle of that roundabout, there'll be 2 sets of traffic lights. There'll be one entering it and one leaving in order to have the roundabout clear. See? So as long as the lights are sequenced, that's all right for the A27, but it'd be difficult for everybody else.
Okay, so if I'm coming up from Bognor, what will happen?
Approaching the Bognor roundabout, and if you want to go into the city, the Hamburger roundabout is for the A27 through traffic, so you would stay on the roundabout and go halfway around it, lights controlled, to go into the city.
But I could get across into the city?
Yes, you can, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But so now I'm going to go on from the Bognor roundabout to the Wick Road roundabout, and if I want to turn right into Wick Road into Chichester, I can't.
You can't do that, no.
Okay, so what are my choices?
You would either have already turned right earlier on at Portfield or Bognor, or you'd have to carry on past the Stockbridge crossroads, because you can't turn right there either, and you would then turn right at the Fishbourne roundabout.
Right. So,
Cathedral Way, past Tesco.
yep. As you said, if I want to go to the railway station, I would come from Sainsbury's roundabout along the A27, but I couldn't turn right at Stockbridge. I would have to go on to the Fishbourne roundabout and then come back on myself. Yes?
Come back on yourself, or turn off earlier and go across Chichester to get to the station.
So either way, there is more traffic through Chichester.
And the thing that I want to say here, because I think it's quite important, is that, and we can talk some more about what happens different directions, but at this point, I'd like to say that a couple of years ago, when there was work going on for the vision of Chichester, and I was involved in that, the mantra then relating to traffic was that the city was that traffic should go to Chichester, but not through. But this seems to be rather the reverse is now happening.
Okay, so let's think now, what's the best way to go to look if we come from the west to go east, or if we want to come from the south?
Well, if you're coming from the south, from Selsey or from the Western Manhood, so those two junctions are either Wick or Stockbridge, now junctions. And if you want to go into Chichester, you go straight across. If you want to go left, if you want to head west, you can do that. However, if you wanted to turn east from coming from the south, if you wanted to go to Sainsbury's, or you want to carry on, you want to go to Tangmere or further on, you can't turn right. So again, you would have to go through the city. From Wick, you'd go up and turn right, say at the first road on the right, go to the Bognor roundabout. If you were coming from the Western Manhood and you cross the Stockbridge roundabout, well, you would be going as before. You'd go, Market Avenue through the lights and St Pancras and out of Chichester that way. So again, it would bring more traffic into the city than it otherwise would do.
So it's really going to get to the point when it's too much. It's just too much. So that's if I'm coming. So I can't, if I'm coming from the south up on Wick Road and Stockbridge Road, I can't turn right.
No.
Okay. So how about if I'm coming from Fishbourne and I want to go to Huntston?
There are two ways of doing that. One is you could not go on the A27 at all and go down Appledram South as before, onto the A286 and turn left up Wapham's Lane.
That won't please the residents to be a rat run even more, will it?
No. However, if you want to go to Huntston the way the designers might want you to do it, you would have to go onto the roundabout and go 3/4 the way around it and take the Stockbridge Link Road, which we have talked about before. And you have to go through 3 sets of lights to do that, and go down the Stockbridge Link Road, join the A286, and as before, go to Wapham's Lane and go up there.
Right. Now, that is important because that Stockbridge Link Road is their solution, well, a so-called solution to what do we do with the traffic that needs to get onto the Manhood. And it is to go from the Fishbourne roundabout to the A286 just south of Donington.
That's right.
Going to go right beside the Chichester Harbour area of national beauty and very damaging to the environment. So that's how I do it from Fishbourne. And if I'm coming along the A27 from Emsworth and Portsmouth, how do I turn right to Huntston?
You would have to go around the Fishbourne roundabout, again, about 3/4 of the way around, and take the Stockbridge Link Road.
All that traffic that
yes.
could have gone there, right.
Yes. Yeah.
And these hamburger roundabouts, can you just describe how they work?
Okay, well, they're given that name because they look a bit like a hamburger sideways on. You have the roundabout with the arms coming off, 3 or 4 of them, and then the main road goes across it, which is where the ham inside the burger, and so that there have to be traffic lights at every junction because traffic has to be regulated, particularly to allow the traffic through the main section across the roundabout. This is to avoid the cost of building and the engineering of building a road with a flyover. So we have no flyovers. It's all on the same level, or at grade as it's called. And so this is to keep the cost down, which is still quite considerable. But what it means to the road user is quite profound, because you'll have all these traffic lights all the way around it.
So it seems to me that the A27 is already a notorious black spot for traffic in the summer. And having lived here many years, I know that, you know, it used to be Friday afternoons, it was all blocked going west, but now it seems to be every day it's all blocked going west. The COVID has been a surprising relief in terms of traffic, but once things start back to normal, I'm not at all sure that it will be, well, it can only be worse. And then thinking that instead of going round roundabout, you're going to have to stop at traffic lights 4 times just to get along the A27, 3 miles, I think you thought it was, Peter.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say about these?
So thank you very much, Joan, and thank you for the opportunity. I think in summing up, I could sum it up in 3, possibly 4 statements, which is, first of all, banning the right turns at Stockbridge and Wick, which was the purpose of this, has really far-reaching consequences, and it necessitates this link road. I think, first of all, the effect of that will be that the city will see an increase in traffic being forced through the centre of the city because of the banning of right turns at those two junctions. And thirdly, the local traffic, I think, is going to experience, on the whole, worse conditions, depending a little on points of departure and your destination. The A27 traffic, which quite a lot of this is about, will still experience interference at the 4 crossings, 2 hamburgers and the 2 crossroads, and each of those crossings will be signalized. So the A27 still won't have a smooth passage. Whereas if we look at Arundel, they're going to have a new bypass of 5 miles, which does what it should do, which is separating through from local traffic, which this obviously does not do.
Lovely. Peter, thank you so much. I feel like I'm a lot clearer now. I don't think I'm much more optimistic, though. And we will have to wait and see how whether Chichester District Council can demonstrate that this actually is an effective, realistic solution to the problem that we have. Thank you for your time, Peter.
It's been a pleasure, and maybe we'll speak again, but thank you very much so far.
Indeed, we will.